Hello there. Can you hear me? You're my test dummy. Okay, wonderful. Just wanted to make sure that everyone will be able to hear this nonsense. Anyways, yes. Well, I suppose we'll give it a little bit of a wait here, but this is War Thunder. I don't think you've ever played this, have you? It's kind of the opposite of World of Tanks. It's one of the three big tank games, and this one apparently is pretty popular. I keep getting into and out of it, and at the moment I'm into it. Hooray. But that's not the reason everyone's here, all one of you. Now, the reason people are going to want to see this, I imagine, is going to be because of my opinion on The Last Jedi. Certainly enough people asked me questions about it in the last few weeks. Oi. So, seeing that you're the only person here at the moment, John, should I start gibbering about The Last Jedi, or wait a little bit and see if someone else shows up to hear? And have no fear, I'm tanking all the while, so we're perfectly fine. Yeah, I don't know. It's this game's a bit more realistic than World of Tanks, but we'll see. I think I went the wrong way. The rest of my team's going the other direction. I wonder if they know something I don't. But yeah, I guess we'll just begin now and see what happens, because heaven knows. Well, we'll see. Let's get a battle in before we begin, I guess. Get this truck rolling, or this tank rolling. Actually, no, let's not get the tank rolling, because if the tank starts rolling, I'm in trouble. These things don't roll very well, as far as I know. I don't know what I'm doing. Really? Oh, shit. Hello. There he is. Well, I got the bugger's engine. Or transmission. I got something. Better get up there and try and save the cap. But yes, the Last Jedi. I mean, a lot of people who follow me will probably think, Slade is going to hate it. It's going to be evil. He's going to dislike it. And yes and no, unfortunately. It's a little, oh yeah, it is early for most people. You're quite right, but fuck it. I've been up all night. Who's going to kill me? But in any case, the point I'm trying to make with The Last Jedi is that my opinion's actually a bit more nuanced than it should be, perhaps, because, as my friend pointed out, it is a bad movie. I mean, the script was honestly awful, the acting was, and the story made no sense. But I honestly, I liked parts of it. I actually put up with it better than I put up with, like, I wanted to I legit wanted to walk out uh, of what's it called? The Force Awakens. I wanted to walk out. It was the second movie in my life that I'd gone to see that I wanted to walk out on. And yeah, so that was kind of an awkward thing for me, honestly, because that was kind of horrified that I wanted to walk out of a Star Wars movie. But I did not want to walk out of The Last Jedi, for better or worse. And the movie is getting a lot of crap. I know it is, for better or worse. And well, yeah, well, a good point of this new franchise is, pointless. But that's not why I'm here. We're here for an entirely different matter. But no, the point for me, at least, with this movie was that I didn't want to run away and just leave the theater, which is a good sign, I guess. It's trending in the positive, I suppose. Um, I mean, they're trying, I guess you could say. But we'll just get right into it. The movie takes place right on the heels of The Force Awakens, and oh my God, like they don't spare any time. You know, the First Order shows up, Supreme Leader Snoke is there, and Hux is there, and it gets so very silly so very quickly. Everything gets out of hand. I will say that the humor in the movie, the humor was a lot better. Like they actually managed to make funnies rather well, I thought. I was honestly rather impressed with how many funnies they were able to make. I was very surprised at the fact that I was enjoying the humor so much more in this one versus the last one. I'll get to that later. But starting out, the First Order shows up right in the midst of the rebel evacuation. You know, the not the what's the word? The resistance. Oh God. Hey Drakara. Um, you are now on my live stream. Congratulations. Oh God, we're getting banged and clanged. But ultimately, what ended up happening in the initial part was kind of amusing. You know, the resistance was evacuating, the First Order showed up, and they were causing all kinds of havoc. Actually, fun fact, Joe, the I think the rating has gone up a bit, so I think it's actually higher than Attack of the Clones now. I'll have to confirm that later, I suppose. Um, anyways, the point, though, is that, it starts out pretty good, actually. I actually was enjoying it. Poe is, flying out in his X-Wing and causing trouble for the First Order. He's sitting there, he gets on a calm line with General Hux and is making fun of General Hux and pissing General Hux off. And Hux, of course, loses his temper. And I will say this. That first scene where Poe is taunting Hux and then proceeding to fly around the First Order warships is actually really awesome. I enjoyed it. I had fun watching it. I actually, it gave me hope, I guess you could say, for what the movie might be. I actually thought for that opening sequence, maybe, maybe this is going to be enjoyable. Maybe we are going to have some fun. Yeah, watching Hux run around and freak out about Poe Dameron, and then seeing Poe Dameron fly about and blow up turrets on the cruiser was genuinely fun. I enjoyed it. It felt very Star Wars-y. The humor was wonderful, and I had a good time. And when I saw the new the Mandator 4 Dreadnought, the big warship that comes over with the railguns and blows shit up, I liked that ship. That ship was cool. It looked interesting while still being very Star Warsy, and at the same time, it was incredibly menacing. Really, it honestly was very threatening. And it was fun. It was honestly kind of fun to watch this movie and enjoy this opening sequence. And then shit started to go wrong. Again, the First Order I actually liked for a change in that whole opening sequence. My first complaint, if I was going to have one, was the fact that the First Order says launch fighters against Poe and company and everything, and it's like it's barely any fighters. It's kind of embarrassing, really. It just didn't seem like that many fighters. And then we get to the fun part, which is, I guess you could say, oh boy, this isn't going well, is it? Ah! Aha! Hit his engine. Oh shit. He missed me for some reason. Get on target, you goof. But immediately after that, we have this whole sequence of, oh shit. Oh shit, he's moving. Is there friendly fire in this? I don't remember. God, that was a wasted shot. Really? Oh, piss off. But the resistance begins its attack in earnest. This attack it starts to do, and it's very exciting at first. I mean, also high. Yeesh. But I mean, as soon as this attack begins, something really silly happens, and the silly thing is the new bombers. The resistance bombers look goofy as shit, and they're called like the SFB or something like that, like SFB 17s. They're literally called B-17s, and they operate like B-17s. It is the dopiest thing ever. They look and operate like World War II bombers, which is just stupid if you ask me. Um, these in a world that they have targeted munitions, these clunky big bombers are apparently like really powerful, and they fly over a ship and drop bombs. Not missiles, not torpedoes, nothing like that. No, these things drop big cluster like bombs just en masse. These big bay doors open up, and it just drops round after round after round of these bombs straight down. And I'm looking at these things and just thinking, the hell is this? They don't belong in this universe. It was the dumbest thing ever. Um, and it just didn't make any sense to me. It just watching these bombers, they're big, they're clunky, they're vulnerable as shit. They get torn to pieces, and apparently, in order to be effective, they have to fly over the uh, enemy capital ship and drop their bombs straight down. I'm looking at these things like the Y-wing is a better choice than you. If I was going to take out a capital ship, I would rather bring a Y-wing. I would rather bring a Clone Wars era Y-wing than you things. You things, Jesus. Um, and if I had a choice, honestly, I'd probably bring a K-wing. But that's neither here nor there. Um, the point being, these things are just, as far as I could tell, like they were just the silliest contraptions ever contrived, and they made no sense to me within the actual canon at all. It just the dopiest things ever. It just Jesus. And like I said, they get shredded pretty badly. They apparently don't have much shielding, if any. Uh, but what am I to say? And so that whole opening sequence, it started out really cool. Then the bombers showed up. Poe flying around shooting turrets and everything was really cool. Then the bombers showed up and it just got dopey. Um, and then they succeed. The last bomber that isn't destroyed fully makes it and drops its bombs in this epic moment of heroic sacrifice, and it gets destroyed, etc., etc. But they destroy the dreadnought. The dreadnought is gone. The rebel fleet is saved, and they escape. And we jump over to General Hux again, and Supreme Leader Snoke, who promptly shows up and starts bitching out Hux and throws him across the room. Hooray, poor Hux. It's really kind of silly, honestly. I genuinely felt kind of bad for Hux after that, because it was like, oops, you poor son of a bitch. You were doing so well. But he tried. But the next issue I really had, honestly, was we had this moment where Kylo Ren walks into Snoke's throne room, which I admit looks kind of cool. It looks a bit, a little too colorful, perhaps, I think, for what it's supposed to be. But who's to say Snoke just doesn't have an impeccable fashion taste? I guess. Um, oh, piss off! Really? I hit you and you do nothing, and I do everything. Uh, ouch! That hurt. But ultimately, what ends up happening there is this whole this whole thing with like the tracking through light speed, which gets revealed later on. But the important part is the important part I want to get to is the fact that Kylo Ren shows up, with his mask and everything, and what's his face? Snoke starts to mock him. Starts like, "Aha! You got beaten by a little girl with absolutely no training who just picked up a lightsaber and smacked you about the face, etc." Like he makes some good points. Like Snoke starts attacking not just Kylo Ren, honestly, but he starts attacking the first movie. He starts attacking The Force Awakens, which was really interesting to see. I was actually, I was still kind of hopeful for the movie at that point. I was like, okay, they're acknowledging that they fucked up. Sure, some parts of this were kind of goofy, but it's just, maybe they're going to, go the right way with this. Maybe they are going to acknowledge the fuck-ups they had in the first movie. Because, like I said, the entire first part of this movie was almost all, all good, really. I was enjoying it. There were some dopey things, but a lot of it I was really, really enjoying. And I was getting kind of hopeful. I was getting my hopes up again. I was like, oh, maybe this is going to be a good Star Wars movie. And, genuinely, I thought maybe they had... unfucked things. But they, Snoke called Kylo Ren a child with a mask. He, mocked him for being beaten by Rey, and we see Kylo Ren smash the helmet and, perhaps grow a little bit as a character. So, again, the movie was starting to look kind of promising. Like, it was going to acknowledge the fact that the previous movie had failed in a lot of ways. It never really developed. After that opening sequence, they kind of abandoned that line of reasoning, unfortunately, and it moved on to other things. And it jumped over to the Resistance after that. When we see Leia and everything, the fleet is jumping around, trying to escape the First Order, and we're kind of left wondering what's going on here. What's happening? What do we do next? And that was when we start to figure out that, oh my God, this is actually going to be bad, because holy crap, the First Order is on our ass again. We didn't realize they were on our ass. We didn't think they could be on our ass, but here they come. And there's this whole plot device about being tracked through hyperspace, which I was confused why that was a concern, because there are other times in the old canon, especially, where tracking through hyperspace was a thing. It's not like that's a brand new, never before seen thing. I thought it was kind of silly how much they were freaking out about that, and just oi, as if it was some big deal, and then we have the ultimate goofball moment in this movie, I think, when the new warship shows up, the Mega Class Star Destroyer, the Supremacy. And first off, let's deal with that thing's name. Holy shit, Mega Class? Really? That's what you're going to call your ship? The Mega Class? I mean, I fully admit, the Executor was a Super Star Destroyer. Yes, that's true. But it wasn't named the Super Star Destroyer. It was named the Executor class. It wasn't the Super class. It felt so very silly, to me at least. And this thing is massive. It's easily dwarfs these new Star Destroyers that the First Order has, and it seems. It feels to me like Disney is trying to go with the approach of bigger is better, and I don't think they realize that bigger is not necessarily better. It's just bigger. They keep creating these ludicrously sized ships and stations and things, and it's like, I don't mind bigger warships. I mean, certainly old canon had plenty of bigger warships. But, oh my God, just making them bigger doesn't make them better. Do something interesting with them. And, calling it the Mega Class, again, just call it the Supremacy Class. It's the one and only. There's only one of them, apparently, the Supremacy. So call it the Supremacy Class. Easy day, right? But that's neither here nor there. The Resistance is in trouble. They're being pursued. The First Order attacks them. Leia gets blown out an airlock. She gets blown out what's it called? The bridge. They blow everyone out the bridge, including Admiral Akbar, actually, which was kind of unfortunate. I was expecting to see more of Akbar, but apparently that was not to be. Oh god, this is going badly. Ouch. And ultimately, what ended up happening is, Kylo Ren has this moment where it's like he must kill his mother to, be a Sith or whatever it is. Hey, it's Nog and Emerald. Welcome. And unfortunately, and Kylo Ren actually doesn't do it. He backs off, which is I actually kind of liked. I was kind of I was honestly kind of wondering what they were going to do with that. But Leia gets blown out the airlock, as I said, etc., etc. And oh no, did my voice die? I have to see if my voice is dead. I think he's talking about Akbar. We'll find out in a moment. Okay, yeah. Oh well. Enjoy your stay. Hope you don't. I hope you get a good laugh at my incompetence. But this whole Leia gets blown in an airlock, and right then and there, they should have killed Leia right there. She should have died. Leia's floating in space with the rest of the bridge crew. Oh, good. Hey, Nez. Welcome. We got a little audience developing. And Leia's floating in space, and everyone's freaking out because, oh god, Leia's dead, and our ship was, had a big hole blown in it. But what eventually ends up happening is, Leia suddenly uses the Force and draws herself back to the ship and gets in there, which I've heard some people bitching about that for various reasons. I thought it was kind of cool, personally, that Leia could do that, because, we get to see her Force powers. We don't often get to see Leia's Force powers, because the new canon doesn't allow any of that, honestly. And it's kind of unfortunate, in my opinion, because, honestly, Leia in the old canon eventually became the Grand Master of the Jedi Order, which... holy shit, girl. But we'll see. We'll see where they go with that. I mean, that's part of the issue is that Leia, throughout the movie, Leia kept almost dying, being in situations where you should be dead, but they didn't kill her, and it's unfortunate because Carrie Fisher is dead. We all know that they have to kill Leia off because Carrie Fisher is dead, unless they use her likeness or something, and like they did in Rogue One. They could use her likeness and have fun with that, but even then, it's like, holy shit, that'd be really creepy. And I think it would honestly be kind of disrespectful to the actress, since she did pass away recently, relatively recently. But Leia is now back on the ship, safe and sound, in a coma, apparently. And there's this question of command. The new commander takes over after some nonsense, and Poe, who has already been rebuked by Leia at this point, is asking the new commander, what do you do? What do we do now? Who goes on? What? And to be fair, I don't know Poe's character that well. I'm not a huge fan of the new canon, as everyone knows. So for me, it's kind of just like whatever. People bitching at Poe. Okay, cool, have fun. And genuinely, I couldn't care less if they want to bitch at Poe. I mean, I'm whatever. The issue I had was that this new commander, Commander Holdo, was just honestly, I mean, she was interesting. She seemed to know what she was doing. She was very calm and reserved, but she wasn't telling anyone the plan. They're trapped, and everyone's panicking. The whole thing about this thing has been about hope almost the entire time. They've been talking about hope, and she's not giving it, and she's not giving anyone any hope. There's like, the resistance is freaking out. They're shitting their pants, and she's not giving any of these people that are now under her command reason to hope. They're all, honestly, ouch, that hurt. Big gun. Oh. They're freaking out, and a lot of the nonsense that ensues thereafter could genuinely have been prevented if this new commander, Admiral Holdo, I think it was, had just told people what they were going to do, because they're in a situation where it's like, holy shit, the First Order is on our ass, they're tracking us, and we are running out of fuel, and that's something else. The running out of fuel thing. Now, conventional engines in Star Wars, like the little, things that the starfighters and bigger ships have, those have always had fuel. But I didn't know that hyperdrives had fuel. I always thought that hyperdrives were self-contained. But apparently now hyperdrives need fuel, because they now only have one good jump left, and oh my dear, there's this ability to track them through hyperspace, which again, that did exist in the old canon, so it's not like it's something so new and they've broken everything. That was a thing at one point, and there's someone behind me, I think. Did I just see someone on the map? I swear I just saw someone. Oh, there he is. Piss off. Okay. Yeah, so they're all freaking out. And in the midst of all this, Finn wakes up. Finn has we saw Finn in his medical pod during the trailers, and everyone was wondering what that was going to be about. Was he going to spend a good chunk of the movie in the medical pod? No, he wakes up like within the first half hour or so. Which is fun. He's up and about, and he's freaking out. Where's Rey? Where's Rey? I'm not sure why he's so obsessed with Rey, honestly, but hey. We have a very funny moment between... Oh god, that was a mistake. This is a mistake to be here. Ouch. We had this very funny moment between Finn and Poe, of all people, where Finn's effectively naked. He's not. Oops. He's not. Stop that. Eesh. He is not actually wearing any clothing. He's just wearing his medical equipment, which I want to know who the hell let him wander out of the medical lab like that. Like, he's in medical, and then he starts wandering around the ship wearing nothing but his Bacta suit that he was in. And who the hell lets the patient out of the lab like that? It was it was just silly. It was incredibly silly. But what can you do? They're being silly, and Poe sees him naked, and Poe gives him a. The funny thing was that Poe gave him a look up and down, like, oh my, which was a good chuckle on my part. And I know a lot of people I know were hoping that the Disney would allow Poe and Finn's chemistry to develop. I wasn't holding my breath, but there was hope for that. Of course, the moment Poe explains to Finn that Leia is unconscious and blah, everything else starts happening all at once, and mayhem ensues, because Finn's suddenly like, oh shit, we're trapped on this ship, and Rey, the tracking device that Rey has, will lead her here, which means she's going to have to deal with the First Order, and oh my god, I need to get this tracking device away from here so that Rey doesn't get dragged back here and encounter the First Order, etc., etc. It's all very convoluted. And, it was a very silly plot that was just kind of compounded by the nonsense of, Poe trying to figure out what Holdo was up to. The whole thing was rather silly. Oop, hello. You're going to come out and fight? Or not? No, I guess not. I'm surprised it didn't kill him. Oh well, he's on fire. Oh, yeah, hooray, there he goes. He cooked off. Oh dear, hello. But after Poe explains to Finn what's going on and everything else, Finn has the bright idea that, I'm going to take this. Oh boy, I need to get out of here. Apparently, they're calling in artillery strikes. Stug, where are you? I can see your. There you are. Undamaged, of course. But, Finn decides to try and escape because, the resistance is doomed, so to speak. Yeah, it's time to sneak away and escape. And he tries, and that's when we meet Rose. Rose shows up, and Rose, oh my god, Rose is an interesting character, to say the least. Uh, and honestly, she's not a character I think belongs there. We learn right off the bat that her sister was in one of the bombers that was recently destroyed, the last bomber, the one that destroyed everything. And she sees Finn as this great hero, this hero of the resistance, etc. And she's gushing over him and just like admiring him and happy to see him. And then she realizes he's trying to escape. He's not there being a bold hero or anything. He's trying to escape, and she promptly zaps him and is trying to throw him in the brig. When more havoc ensues, and just eventually what ends up happening at the end of it all, they Rose and Finn go off on this quest to essentially save the resistance cruiser that is, ouch, go away, crap. Well, there goes that. Stop. Would you just kill me already? Ugh. Actually, no. Rose is not much of a Mary Sue. Rose is kind of pathetic. Have fun, Nog and Emerald. But after Poe and Rose, along with Finn, start to have their moments together, they decide they're going to run off and save the resistance by finding some hacker that Maz tells them about. And Maz turns up very briefly in a hollow transmission and is just like, "Yay! I'm in the middle of a gang war apparently, and you guys have to go do your own stuff. So shoot, go away. I'm busy." Whereupon she, goes off and tells them to go to this casino planet. And this is where it all starts to get very silly, because this whole thing is cooked up by Poe and Finn, along with Rose, where they're trying to figure out, how to escape the First Order, while Holdo is also trying to figure out how to escape the First Order. And this is my major contention: is that Holdo could have easily told Poe her plan. She could have told everyone the plan, and no one would have been worse off, and a whole lot of the story could have been avoided. But it isn't. Instead, we see this bit of nonsense. Oh, go away, I know. In which, Poe sends Finn and Rose, I keep wanting to call her Rey, but it's Rose, off on this, grand adventure to find this hacker that's going to help them save everybody. And we'll leave them there for now. Now let's go back to Rey. And here, actually, this is a real failure on the movie's part. The movie takes place in 2 time slots. Rey's parts with Luke are not in sync with the rest of the movie. While the rest of the movie is happening, we're actually jumping back in time to Rey and Luke. Rey and Luke. Which they don't explain, and you kind of have to figure that out on your own, which is annoying as hell. And I didn't realize it at first. It took Crimson Knight pointing it out to me for me to realize that, oh, these are not in sync. That's why it doesn't make sense. But Rey meets Luke. She hands him the lightsaber, and Luke promptly throws it over his shoulder. It's like, okay, that was kind of funny. It made me laugh, I admit it. It was funny. It made me chuckle a bit. But I just, I thought, I was like, okay, and this is the part where I have to point out something. Mark Hamill, is probably the best best part of the movie. Like, and this is my problem with the movie as a whole. If I'm being completely honest, is that there are parts of the movie I genuinely enjoy. You know, there are some parts of the movie which are actually really fun, and we'll get to that as we go on. But like overall, the movie's bad. It's poorly written. It's, you know, not very well. The acting is silly, and I think, and the sad thing is that I don't think it's the actors and actresses' fault that the acting is silly. I think it's the, you know, director. The director and the script are dictating that they be silly. It's kind of like, you know, the prequels. You know, it wasn't so much that the actors and actresses in the prequels were bad. It was that the script was awful. And I think it's the same problem here. The script and everything is absolutely terrible, unfortunately. And it's really unfortunate because, you know, they had the potential at the very beginning of the movie to have a good thing going, but, you know, they lose it. And again, we see we see with the desynced time with Rey and Luke, there's actually potential there. Rey is trying to figure out, you know, why is Luke being a dick? Why on earth, you know, doesn't Luke want to come back? What is going on here? You know, how can I, you know, get this famous Jedi Master to come back and help Leia, etc., etc. And, you know, it turns out Luke has just been, you know, hiding on a rock, etc. And that's the end of that. One of the interesting things, by the way, in Force Awakens, we see Luke apparently standing next to a what appears to be a gravestone. And a lot of people hypothesized about what that might be. You know, whose grave that was. Was it Han's? Was it his wife's? Was it someone from the Jedi Order? You know, who was that? Etc., etc. And, you know, we didn't know, and we were wondering. And as far as I can tell, oh, bloody hell, go away. As far as I can tell, the, oh, Jesus, Slade, you break. That tombstone we see, the headstone, has been removed. It's no longer there, which is interesting as far as I'm concerned, because it's like, what, that was written out? And there's a couple of things like that throughout the entire movie, which they were in The Force Awakens, but they're not in this. And it's very, very interesting to see what they apparently decided to write out of this movie versus, you know, the previous movies. And makes me wonder really what the hell is going on over there. But, you know, Luke and Rey do not get along. You know, Luke is completely dismissive of Rey. He has no interest in training her. She's demanding that he help, and etc. It just does not go well. And and that was kind of interesting to me because it's like, you know, we were expecting Luke to train her. There was this, you know, this thing where it's like, okay, yeah, she's found Luke. He's going to train her now, and maybe now all her powers will make some sense because, hey, she actually has training. No, not really. I mean, Luke does eventually train her, yes, but it isn't in any noticeable way. She, you know, swings a lightsaber around a little bit, and he gives her a few kind of joking lessons. In those lessons, by the way, Mark Hamill proves that his comedic timing is absolutely astounding, and it honestly is rather hilarious watching him interact with Rey, because he is so very obviously, you know, the character of Luke is so very obviously fucking with her. And it's during this Rey's time with Luke that something else starts to happen, and that specifically is Rey starts seeing visions of Kylo Ren. And I honestly really liked that. I enjoyed Rey's visions of Kylo Ren. It was interesting. It was, you know, it made me wonder what was going on. Why were these two connected? And they're not just like seeing each other really. They're, you know, they're genuinely interacting. They're talking. They're, you know, speaking to one another. And it's through Kylo Ren that Rey begins to unravel what happened with Luke. And here is a major point of contention I had with the movie. We eventually discover that, you know, Kylo Ren didn't just turn to the dark side overnight or something. We discover that Luke realized that Snoke, who as of yet is not really, you know, we haven't learned who Snoke is at all, but Snoke essentially was corrupting Kylo Ren, and Luke discovered this. And at some point or other, Luke decided that, you know, Kylo Ren was beyond saving and decided he was going to kill his nephew. So yeah, Luke Skywalker, uh, the guy who went to go redeem his father and everyone else, uh, decided that that his nephew needed to die, and that was honestly, I think, one of the biggest betrayals of Luke's character that I've seen to date. Because of that, it did not make sense. It was confused. It was strange, and the premise is that apparently that was what pushed Kylo over the edge, was the fact that his uncle tried to kill him. Which, again, I understand that logic. That'd make me a little upset too, obviously. But it didn't feel right. Like, it didn't feel like Luke, and I understand now why Mark Hamill said that he fundamentally disagreed with everything that they were writing for his character, because they honestly do betray the character quite a lot. And they have him, because Rey is Rey and has to be awesome. They have Mark Hamill's character. Luke is terrified of Rey. Rey is, so powerful, and Luke is afraid to train her because, oh my God, you went right for the dark side. You didn't even try to stop it. You just went to it, and it's this whole bit of nonsense where it's just let's talk about how awesome Rey is. And again, Luke never acknowledges how awesome Rey is. Really, he kind of just treats her like, oh my God, you're scary, you're dangerous. I can't train you because you're scary and dangerous, and it's honestly just so dopey seeing how much all the different characters kind of kowtow to Rey, and just it's silly. It's so absolutely silly. And I really wish they'd stop doing that, but I don't expect them to not do that. Oh yeah, let's see. We're gonna get who do we want next? I think I'm gonna go for you, because you look nasty. You were fun when you derped me in the face. And it's just the silliest thing ever to see how put upon a pedestal Rey is throughout the entire movie. Really, it seems incredibly silly to me, in all honesty. Just how much they give her, how much credit they give her for who she is and everything. It just is so dopey. But again, Rey has these connections with Kylo Ren. She discovers why Luke left abandoned the galaxy, supposedly. Go hide in a cave and cry. And eventually confronts Luke, saying that we can save Kylo Ren. I believe he is savable, and blah blah blah. And Luke fights her very briefly, and promptly gets his ass kicked by Rey. Which, what the hell? This is the person who she went to for training, and he hasn't trained her at all, really. And suddenly she's just powerful. She's strong enough that she can kick his ass. And it's absolutely ridiculous, in my opinion, just how easily she whoops Luke, who's supposed to be this really powerful Jedi Master. They did address one thing that I had a problem with Luke specifically. It's that he cut himself off from the Force. He's no longer connected to it. He did sever his connection to it. Which, again, that explains a lot of the issues I had in the previous movie. Because it explains why he didn't show up to save Han or help Leia or anything. He cut himself off. Poof, good. But he's literally on this island, not doing anything useful, just sulking on this island, feeling sorry for himself. And it's just such a stupid betrayal of a character. But back to Finn and Rose. They arrive on this casino, this opulent casino planet, which I can't remember the name of at all. I wish I could, but don't. It's interesting. It looks fun, but it's kind of. I saw that and I immediately thought, I like this world. This is different. This is interesting. And then we go inside, and there's a billion different species in there. Not one of which did I recognize. There are so many established species, even in the new canon. Even in the new canon, there are dozens of established canon species in Disney's canon. And we didn't see a single one. It's all these new creatures. The casino world looked like Farscape. It didn't look like Star Wars. It looked like Farscape. And there was not a single Twi'lek, no Ithorians. I didn't see any Zabraks. No, none of the established species from the Clone Wars, even Rebels, or any of the movies. It's just all these new species that, oh, hello, you're all here. I mean, again, it's cool to see new things, but at the same time, it's like, have like have a Twi'lek waitress, have an Ithorian there or something, have anything really from the usual suspects, so to speak. It was so odd seeing all these different species that were running around, and it's like, who are you? What are you? You look like you're like a Farscape reject. What is going on? And it was just so strange to me that was a thing, and that was, apparently this planet that they're on. And Rey and Finn, or not Rey and Finn, Rose and Finn. I keep doing that. Rose and Finn run around and get arrested, etc. And but before that, they have this conversation where Rose is essentially explaining to Finn, what her reason for being in the Resistance is and why she's so passionate, and etc. etc. All this, all the stuff we all know and like about characters, etc. And it's essentially, she's just, Finn is impressed. He loves the opulence of this world. This world looks wonderful to him, and Rose is sitting there talking about how awful it is, and pointing out how wrong it is that this place exists and how horrible the people there are. And just, it takes away so much of the fun, honestly, to put it lightly. Like, Rose is the most depressing character I've ever dealt with. It's sad, honestly. It's like, don't you have any sense of wonder or anything like that? Why are you so, down on everything? And she, explains her reasoning, that how evil these people are. They supply weapons to the First Order, that sort of thing. Which, okay, fine. But again, it's not really, it's not sufficiently explained in any way. It's just kind of like, these people are evil because, they help supply the First Order, and yay, evil. And again, they get arrested, and while they're in jail, they meet this, scoundrel, this fellow in a dark cape, not wearing his boots, elf ears, and he's being all sleazy and scummy. And he was honestly the first new character they've introduced who I genuinely really liked. I really, really enjoyed him. He was interesting. And between him and, pardon me, between him and Rose and Finn, they escape and go on this big rampage. And there's something there really awesome. There's these big horse dog creatures. And they're beautiful. They're wonderfully animated. Their design is so incredibly charming. I need to look up what they're called. And it was wonderful to see that. Like that it kind of restored a bit of the, I guess you could say, the sense of wonder about Star Wars, to a degree, where it's like, okay, this has gotten my attention. This looks interesting. This is different. What is this? I like this. And, and they play a role in the, in the escape. My throat is getting so sore. I'm so sorry. And they're adorable. They're awesome. And this whole sequence where they're escaping is honestly, genuinely rather fun. It's enjoyable. It is interesting. And the problem, though, is while all this is going on, if you look back at the Resistance is running around, apparently still, fleeing from these ships, these Imperial ships, or not Imperial, First Order ships, and they are running away like crazy. And that's the entire thing, is like, Poe is being bitchy because he doesn't know the plan. Holdo is being bitchy because she refuses to tell anyone the plan. No one knows what the plan is because Holdo's just playing it close to her chest, apparently. And that entire part of the is the most, honestly, the most boring space chase ever. You have this massive First Order warship chasing after them, and nothing's happening. It's peppering them with fire, and ouch, that hurt. And the entire time this is going on, apparently Rey and Luke are still bitching at each other, and Rey and Luke have their falling out, and Rey says she's going to go back and she's going to save Kylo Ren. So she flies in with Chewie, and while all this other nonsense is going on, Finn and Rose are having the great escape, and Poe is bitching at Holdo. Admiral Holdo's and who's leading them off on this wild goose chase to escape the First Order, without telling anyone what the wild goose chase is ouch. I hate these little things. These things are so annoying. In the midst of all this, Rey shows up again. She's back, and hooray! She's going to do something. We're not sure what yet, but she's going to do something. And she proceeds to do something. To her credit, she goes and gets herself captured, and it's all very exciting, really. And it's debatable how effective she is, but she shows up and goes to deal with Snoke. Goes to confront Snoke, who is the big on the ship, and is very much mocking her. And Snoke, he even he taunts her and just is makes fun of her and everything. And that's one of the funnier moments of the movie, is when she gets smacked in the back of the head by Snoke, who is apparently incredibly powerful. He actually is demonstrating throughout the entire movie how powerful he is. And he promptly kicks her ass. And meanwhile, she's sitting there talking to Ben, etc., trying to convince him that he is, he's stronger than Snoke. He can resist Snoke. He can escape from Snoke's control, etc., etc., etc. The whole 9 yards. And it goes on and on and on. And here's something I actually think was clever. I found this to be incredibly clever, as a matter of fact. Snoke is sitting there mocking Rey as he's telling Kylo Ren to kill Rey. And Kylo Ren pulls a fast one. As Snoke is talking about what he sees in his mind, Kylo Ren does exactly what Snoke is saying, but he does it to Snoke rather than to Rey. And that was clever. I thought that was incredibly clever. But what happens next bugs me. Now, don't get me wrong. When Snoke gets killed, and Kylo Ren seemingly turns in the First Order and fights with Rey, joins Rey and, does battle against Snoke's ketchup guards. Because, yes, those guards are ketchup guards. I'm sorry. Heinz called. They want their ketchup bottles back. Yeesh. But anyways, that's beyond the point. Rey and Kylo Ren are having this big fight against all these ketchup guards, and they're kicking their asses. I mean, it goes on for a bit, and you can definitely tell that, Rey and Kylo are struggling, which is good in my opinion, because these are supposed to be scary guards. I mean, they've been threatening people throughout the entire movie, and they're supposed to be dangerous, and etc., etc. But, who knows? Maybe they aren't. What do I know? The ultimate thing that happens, though, is they win after some struggle, and it felt so weird to me. I liked watching Kylo Ren fight. I actually felt very satisfied watching Kylo Ren fight, because he shows that he is a powerful fighter. He's a very good fighter, and he demonstrates that repeatedly throughout that battle he has with these guards. And then we have Rey. Rey is over there, also being a badass, also kicking everything's ass. And as far as I can tell, there is zero reason for her to do it. Once again, she has no training. She didn't do any training with Luke, which is what everyone expected her to do. Everyone expected her to train with Luke, and she didn't. And oh, hi, Raphael. Welcome. And now suddenly, she's beating the ketchup guards to pieces. I mean, the good news is once they're all dead, they can go back to their day job at Heinz. That's the good news. The bad news is suddenly Ray is just kicking everyone's ass again, and that's honestly a large a large chunk of my problem with Ray is how overpowered she is. And again, you can say that's hypocritical of me because I have overpowered characters too, but I explain that. I bother to explain my characters when they are overpowered because I do admit some of them do get overpowered. Um, we never explained why Ray is. Even there's even a reveal where we hear who her parents are, which I don't know how anyone knows who her parents are. Apparently, they looked up her lineage at some point, and they know exactly who her parents are. And they're these wastrels who sold her into slavery so they could buy alcohol or something, which was interesting plot point. And I wonder who thought that was a good idea, because it's like, okay, so Ray really is just some random girl who is apparently force sensitive and can kick everyone's ass. You're not helping the case of her being a Sue at all. Everyone's fascinated with Ray. Everyone thinks Ray is awesome, and just Jesus Christ. It's like the goal should have been to make Ray less of a Sue, less of this, almighty praise her character, but they went the other direction. They went the complete other direction and just made her this once again emphasize the reason why some people don't like her. It's not because she's a girl, it's because she's a this over overpowered and genuinely silly character, in so many ways. Just it's unfortunate that they just cannot see that. I really wish they could figure that one out. It's not even that difficult to figure out. It's like your character here is not necessarily like Rey could be so much better. You could make her like one of the most fascinating characters ever in Star Wars if you just put a little effort into into her character. And they don't. It's so sad that they don't do that. Oh shit, there's an airplane. Ah, airplane! Go away! Alright. Oh good, they killed that idiot over there. What's this idiot here doing? Oh shit, what the hell am I being shot by? Ah! Jesus. Aiming in this game can be such a bitch. Ah! But Rey and Kylo win against the ketchup guards, and they have this moment of like let's get out of here, let's go save your mother. And Kylo Ren hesitates and is like, we've done this, we've won, we're throwing off the chains of our past, and he betrays her. It's long story short, and you know Ray is like, like upset with him, like, "Oh God, don't do it, Kylo." I'm like, "What were you expecting? The guy just killed his master, for Christ's sake. Sure, he helped you, but I'm pretty sure it's because he wants to sleep with you." Um, and Kylo Ren has this big betrayal moment. He and Ray square off, and she overpowers him and flees. And amidst all this nonsense going on, I'm sorry, have you seen their design, Nez? They look like Heinz ketchup bottles. I am sorry. Anyone who likes them, I apologize. These new Imperial Guards or whatever they're called look like ketchup bottles. It's like Snoke saw a ketchup bottle and fell in love, so he made his guards look like that so he could jerk off to them or something. I don't know. Oy. People have their kinks. But anyways, the point is that Ray and Kylo have their big moment together, and he betrays her, etc. It's unfortunate. Everyone's sad, and then oh look, there's Finn and Rose with their hacker friend. They're back, and they're trying to fix things. And oh look, the hacker actually appears to be a good guy in a way. He's being very kind to Rose and helping her out, and gives her back, her sister's pendant, which she gave him as payment. Which turns out all he needed it for was hacking, somehow. Because yay, short-circuiting things by hacking. I don't know. But they get captured. They get caught, and it's a big oh shit moment. And then Phasma shows up after almost the entirety of the movie. Captain Phasma, who is not dead, who survived the last movie and the trip to the Gargoyle Chute, shows up. And there she is, this person who was almost omnipresent in the previous movie, and is suddenly, there she is, and she's being a complete and total bitch, which was awesome. Mocking Finn and everything else, and it was wonderful seeing Phasma. I mean, she actually, again, it's one of those moments in the movie where I was like, oh, I actually like this, and then all hell breaks loose. Everything starts, because the First Order, has the Heart of Gold hacker. It turns out doesn't have a heart of gold. He's betrayed them. He's sold the Resistance out for his own freedom and some cash. And the Resistance is being killed. So what happens? Well, Holdo freaking pulls off her great stunt. For some reason, and Leia, who has woken up to stop a coup by Finn, which again, this all could have been prevented if Holdo had just told people what the hell the plan was. They've all evacuated, and instead of Leia staying on the ship and making a brave sacrifice to save the Resistance, Holdo stays behind, because that makes sense. Let's kill off the new character instead of the one whose actress is dead, and etc. etc. Oy. And Holdo is now watching the Resistance transports being annihilated and just completely murdered, and and she's freaking out. What does she decide to do? Well, she decides she's going to use the Rebel cruiser, the Resistance cruiser, as a cannon, essentially. She decides, I'm going to turn this thing into a hyperspace cannon. And it works spectacularly, honestly. And it just, so Holdo goes out in this big bang, which coincides with, everyone on the Mega class, the Supremacy, and their big moment together. And that buys, everyone over there the moment they need to escape. They all run off, and Finn faces down, what's his face? Her face. He faces down Phasma and, starts kicking her ass in so many ways, which is so silly to me. It's like, she's supposed to be this badass, and oh my god. And the other thing, in the first movie, Finn wasn't that awesome. He was not that awesome, honestly, but apparently now he is. Apparently now he's just like Das Ubermensch. I don't know. He is really, really badass, and he's gonna kick everyone's butt. Which he proceeds to kick Phasma's butt. And here comes my favorite part of the movie. He kills Phasma by basically dropping her down a flaming shaft. It made no sense to me. It was like a complete waste of the character. Like, I'm sitting here looking at Phasma going, she was interesting. She was interesting, she was threatening, and you just dropped her down a fiery shaft like rebels. Holy shit. Okay, talk about wasting your characters. And everyone escapes. Finn jumps on with Rose, and they escape. We don't see what happens to the Slicer, who I cannot remember the name of. I don't remember the guy's name at all, because I don't think they ever said the guy's name. But Finn and Rose escape with I think they're with Rey. Are they with Rey? No, Rey escapes with the Falcon. And everyone runs off. Everyone gets off the ship as it's exploding. And this is when General Hux discovers. Honestly, Raphael, if Phasma is still alive, yeah, I don't know. I hope she is, because I want to see more of her. I want them to actually do something with her, but they haven't. It's annoying as hell. Um, but hey, who knows? Maybe they'll get their heads out of their asses eventually. Who am I kidding? We'll see what happens with that. I mean, it's up for debate. Um, But after everything that the resistance is now on this old rebel base, which was kind of cool. It was nice to see another rebel base because I always maintained the rebellion had multiple bases. There wasn't just Yavin, it wasn't just Hoth. It was all these other bases. Had to be, honestly, if it's a galactic spanning rebellion. And that's one of the issues I have with the resistance. Is the resistance apparently just has one base and 3 ships. It's like, how is the resistance a credible threat to the First Order? The First Order has like an entire fucking fleet of warships, and you've got like 3 and 1 base and a handful of fighters. How are you a credible threat to the First Order? What the fuck? Why is the First Order even bothering with you? And it was just dopey. But so the First Order, Supreme Leader Snoke is dead. Hux almost shoots Kylo Ren while Kylo Ren's lying unconscious. I wish he had. Oh my god. Oh, you're a reserve tank. Oops. But then Kylo Ren wakes up, and Hux promptly puts his gun away. And there's this moment of, combativeness where Hux is like, the Supreme Leader's dead, we don't have any cause. And, Kylo Ren goes Kylo Ren on him and is like, I am the new Supreme Leader. The Supreme Leader's dead, long live the Supreme Leader. And Hux, being, force choked, is like, okay, please, uncle. And, promptly, basically gives the First Order to Kylo Ren, who, then orders them to go down and kick the ass of the Resistance. And then we get to see the next bit of nonsense. We're in this cave, or not this cave, this big fortified bunker built into the side of a cliff face. It looks pretty awesome. And they got old, weapons and whatnot there. Not a whole lot of stuff to work with, but they do their best. And the Resistance is getting ready for a fight. And, they're manning the trenches and the old gun defenses, which are like 30 years old at this point, and just praying for a miracle as they send out signals to their allies, etc. And none of their allies show up. It's kind of just, oh god, fuck you. And I think that's a missed opportunity, honestly. Like, the fact that the Resistance's allies did not show up, or no one showed up even, is a missed opportunity. You could have expanded on the universe so much, this new Disney universe with Star Wars, by having allies show up, have the Mon Calamari show up, have anyone show up, for Christ's sakes. This is the entire movie. They prattle on about hope, and it's like they don't have any. There is no hope. Holy crap. But the First Order is doing their assault and promptly kicking their asses because they're using these outdated skimming hovercraft things that are all but useless. Honestly, they're completely useless. They're falling apart useless. Like, they're falling apart to they're so useless that they're basically used for comic effect, which is really silly. And that's one of the cases where the humor just didn't work. They were trying too hard to make it funny, I think. It's supposed to be this dire circumstance, and they're just kind of turning it into one big joke. And it's unfortunate that they couldn't take their own movie seriously. Like, again, the humor was really appreciated, but it didn't there was a time and place for humor, and sometimes and when they used the humor, it often was really well. It was good humor. It was funny, but so often it was just like, okay, we get it. That was funny. Stop being funny. This is serious now. These characters are about to die. And that was honestly one of the biggest issues I had, was like, they were trying to be funny throughout so much of it. They're just, oi. But they have this big battle between the Resistance and, the First Order. And we get to see the new walkers, which look dopey as fuck. Like, the new walkers look so silly. But, they do a good job showing how imposing they are, and hooray, we see some of the old ATSTs there with, or not ATSTs, AT-ATs with them, which was kind of cool. Um, but this battle is not going well, and Finn has been very selfish throughout most of this movie. Ugh. Death and destruction is supposed to be funny. That's Rebels' problem. Rebels is like, oh look, this is haha funny. It's a war. It's a war, everyone. It's a war, and we're all laughing and making jokes. And oh my god, why are people dying? We're still laughing and making jokes though. Oh my god, aren't we funny? Like, oh fuck off. Oy. And but anyway, so the whole. All this nonsense of the First Order is going on, fighting the Resistance, and honestly doing their oops. That guy just did. I think like three guys just drove into the river. At least two, maybe three guys just drove into the river. What the hell? You drunken sodomites. And oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh, was not paying attention. Oh my god. And amidst all the, again, the Resistance is busy fighting. Kylo Ren's there to wipe them out and finish them off, and he's doing a damn good job of it, if we're being honest. And we proceed back to Luke, who is now apparently, amidst all the nonsense he's been going through of like, refusing the Jedi Order and saying that the Jedi Order needs to end, he is now going to go burn the sacred Jedi texts that are on this island in the middle of nowhere on a planet that isn't charted. No comment. And while he's doing this, for some reason, no clue why, Yoda shows up. Of all people to show up, Yoda shows up. I don't know what Yoda's doing there, and Yoda picked a hell of a time to show up. It's like, I'm sitting here looking at Yoda going, dude, where the fuck have you been? Like, the last, Luke's entire order has been wiped out. The guy is hiding is hiding out in a hermitage on an island, hiding from the galaxy and all his responsibilities, and he's trying to destroy the Jedi Order's texts, and now you show up? Yoda, your timing is balls. Jesus Christ. And Yoda's, kind of just being Yoda. Like, what are you going to do? And Luke says, I'm going to destroy all the texts. And Yoda's like, okay, cool, whatever. And, Luke proceeds to try and light the tree on fire where the sacred texts are. And instead, Yoda's Force Ghost apparently blows them up, which, that made sense. I didn't know Force Ghosts could do that. It's new. Which, again, you want to introduce new Force powers and stuff? Okay, cool. By all means. My characters, when I was creating them, half their powers didn't exist. And yes, I agree, Raphael. The fact that they're books and not like holocrons was incredibly irritating. I don't actually know if holocrons... Actually, yeah, I know holocrons are still a thing, so they should have been holocrons. But I think Rebels, if I remember correctly, I believe Rebels broke what the hell a holocron is. So holocrons no longer contain data. They're just random things, I guess. I don't know. I don't know the whole nonsense of what Rebels did with holocrons. Holocrons are now magic, apparently, instead of, being technology. Ugh. People keep driving into the fucking river. What is this? Ugh. But, instead of letting Luke destroy these books, instead of that happening, Yoda's Force Ghost, which apparently has the power to do this, blows up this little tree temple thing and incinerates the whole thing. Which, okay. I didn't know Force Ghosts had that kind of power, but they do now, apparently. Hi, everybody. And Yoda is sitting there laughing at Luke, who is just, completely confused by this. Like, what did you just do, you crazy old, bat-eared nutcase? And Yoda proceeds to lecture him on failure. Lecturing Luke on failure. And it's like, it feels so forced. This whole nonsense of, like, you failed and you must learn to do better. And yay, I'm sitting here like, Jesus Christ, Yoda. And yes, it was Papa Yoda. Yes, it was indeed Papa Yoda. which I guess is a good thing. Um, Hooray! I was number one on the team. Yay! Um, how am I doing for research? I'm trying to get the Sturmpanzer. Get in there. Yes, all this is crammed into a 3-hour film, and it is the most drawn out clusterfuck of a movie ever. It's just like it drags and drags and drags. But I will get to that in a moment. We jump, after Luke has been blown up by Yoda and is being lectured by Yoda after being blown up by Yoda, because hooray, uh, we get we go back to the Resistance and this big battle between the Resistance and the First Order, and the Resistance is getting its asses handed to them. They are getting their butts kicked. They are getting their teeth kicked in by the First Order. Uh, and it was kind of interesting to watch. Honestly, it was like, okay, that was amusing. What's going on here? And I thought there's gonna be some sort of epic, battle or something. No, the Resistance is actually just falling to pieces. Literally, their ships are falling apart. Their pilots are all being killed. Their defenses are being blown to pieces. The First Order now has a land-based Death Star, which is interesting. I mean, it's not a bad idea. It's actually kind of cool. It's literally like a land-based siege cannon, which is a micro-sized Death Star. And they have this thing, and they're going to use it. Put it to good use, after all. Why not? So the Resistance is trying valiantly to destroy this thing. It's not working. They're all dying, like I said. And ultimately, they fail, honestly. Finn, of all people, Finn, who has been incredibly selfish throughout most of his screen time, has this moment of realization where it's like, everyone's going to die if I don't do something to stop that cannon. I am right here. I am almost on top of it. I can stop this cannon. Yes, they do call it a battering ram, but whatever. I'm not going to worry about the battering ram thing. But Finn is right there. He is on top of this, super laser ram thing, and he is in a position to destroy it, and save everyone, potentially. Or at least save them from that thing, if nothing else. Oh, thank you. That helped me turn around. I don't want to be here anymore. Oh, fuck. Shit. But, Finn's about to ram this super laser. He's about to fly his little speeder right down the throat of this super laser and destroy it, saving everybody. He's about to, sacrifice himself nobly to, save the Resistance. And, what happens? Rose, of all people, comes out of nowhere and promptly rams his ship off course, and rams him out of the way. And hooray! And Finn's kind of pissed, which I don't blame him. He's already sacrificed himself, and suddenly, there is, her, Rose being a dingus and, saving him, and he's like, what the hell? Why'd you do that? What the heck? And she says, well, it's not just about fighting the First Order. It's about, preserving the things we love. Because apparently she's in love with Finn for some reason. I don't know when that happened. I don't know when she fell in love with Finn, but apparently that's a thing. She spent the entire movie telling him, what an idiot he is, and now is suddenly in love with him, which it's like, okay, I did not see that coming. I didn't, what? Huh? But that's a thing, and it's a silly thing, because here's the thing. Rose has spent the entire movie talking about how everyone is suffering, how everyone is sacrificing, how her sister died defending the First Order, and, etc., etc. Just, one thing after another about how, people are all, sacrificing and trying to, beat the First Order and survive all this. And suddenly, You know, Finn suddenly agrees with her. Finn is sitting there like, I have to save everyone. You know, I am in a position where I can save everyone. I am going to save them. And he's ready to make that sacrifice, the kind of sacrifice that she has been talking about this entire damn time. And Rose stops him randomly for no reason that we can really tell. It just suddenly it's like, no, I love you. Like, what? Hi. What? Okay. Um, I don't know. Don't know what to say about that. Really, that's all there really is to say about it. Like, Rose suddenly goes against everything she's been saying the entire damn movie, and decides that I apparently want to. I apparently want to bang this character now because plot device, Mr. Frodo, and yeah, I got nothing for that. I was so baffled by Rose's actions. Like, she's not even a very good character. And again, nothing against the actress. I want to specify that I got nothing against the actors and actresses in this poor film. But they're just, oi, I feel so bad for them all. It's like, I am sorry you all have to be part of this travesty. Um, but what ends up happening is Luke shows up at the 11th hour. He's there. The Millennium, not the Millennium Falcon, but yeah, Luke shows up, and suddenly he's going to save everybody. But there's one thing that happens before that that I want to mention. The Millennium Falcon, which is God knows how old at this point. I mean, the Millennium Falcon it's old. It is an old son of a bitch. Nothing against the thing, of course. Everyone loves the Falcon, of course, but just it's supposed to be ancient at this point, archaic even. And to top it all off, it was sitting around in the sand for God knows how long. And it's suddenly there doing dogfights with everybody. It is dogfighting TIE fighters. It is flying around the capital ships. It's just it's ridiculous how effective it is being. Like, the Millennium Falcon is an old ship. We're constantly treated to jokes at its expense about how old this ship is, and how archaic it is, and yet it's kicking everything's ass. It's like, is this thing old or not? If it's supposed to be an old ship, why the hell is it outmaneuvering these TIE fighters? Why is it flying through these death-defying caverns and doing God knows what? The Millennium Falcon needs to get blown up. Not because I don't like the ship, but because, we're constantly being told how old and archaic it is, and yet we're constantly being shown how awesome it is. It's like, what is this, Old Yeller? Put it down already. Make it, let it die gracefully, for God's sakes. Uh-oh. Bad position. But, like I said, the Millennium Falcon shows up, and it's awesome. Hooray. Hooray for Millennium Falcon. But, in the end, it's a quality-ass ship. It is a quality-ass ship, considering like it's almost a century old, probably, and it's still outmaneuvering everybody. But beyond that, Luke shows up last minute and has this moment with Leia. And to be fair, I was ignorant here. I didn't know something. There was these dice that Luke had. He found them on the Falcon's cockpit, or in the Falcon's cockpit, and I didn't know the significance. But it was pointed out to me that the dice that he's been looking at the entire time are from episode. They're from the original trilogy. The dice are Han's lucky dice. I'm not gonna go into that because they did something with that which really pisses me off. Oy. But Luke shows up and he goes outside to face the First Order by himself, mano y mano, against a massive army. Oh God! And Kylo Ren tries to kill him, and has all these walkers and all these tanks and shit firing at him. And Luke just stands there and brushes it off. Like, literally, just brush, 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 brush. Haha, fuck you. So Kylo Ren goes down there to fight him. And the two fight. It's actually kind of an epic fight. It's like, oh, this is interesting. This is fun. Hooray. We get to see Luke fighting, and Luke is just making a fool out of Kylo Ren. And it's like, oh, what fun this is. Hooray. There's just one problem, though. Luke apparently wasn't there. It was all an illusion. Luke is transmitting himself via the Force to Kylo Ren so that Kylo Ren can see him and fight him. And which I didn't know Luke could do. So honestly, complete kudos to Luke for once again being a Force powerhouse, apparently, because he has reconnected with the Force after his lecture from Yoda. And again, he gives Kylo Ren a nice whooping, and then disappears. And while he disappears, he also dies of, I guess he strained himself too much by projecting himself across the galaxy like that, and he dies in a very noble and honestly rather dignified way. It's quite a good death for Luke Skywalker. It's a very noble Jedi-like death, which, hooray, that's something good. But while Luke's illusionary self was duking it out with, oh, hello, Gaming Bus Fun, welcome, how are you doing? Sorry I missed you, I was rambling. We then proceed to see Rey at the back of the, the back of the, what's it called, the base that the Resistance is hiding in, and they're going to escape. And Rey saves them all. The passageway was blocked by rocks, and now, Rey suddenly, levitates all these boulders that are bigger than her in some cases. Hooray! And she and Finn see each other for the first time in God knows how long, and they embrace, and hooray! And the Resistance, what's left of the Resistance, because they've been taking casualties this whole time, all run off and escape on the Millennium Falcon while Luke dies. Kylo Ren is wandering around the base, kind of looking at everything and looking menacing and pissed off, while Hux is looking at behind him, and it's like, I think there's going to be some fun there. Hux is going to be bitchy, and the Resistance, like I said, has escaped into the great unknown to get away from everybody, and hooray, the hope survives because the Resistance is still alive. And that's the end of the movie, honestly. It's a big clusterfuck, and I know I didn't do the best job describing it, but the movie's one massive clusterfuck, and I think I'm going to submit this, and then I'm going to do a couple other things. I think what happened, honestly, was they tried to jam episodes 5 and 6 into one movie, and then threw a match on it with gasoline to get that out of their system and burn it all down. Like this entire movie felt like they were burning the new canon to the ground, so they can try again with episode 9. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. Anything what they did, it made almost no sense to me. But someone obviously thought this was a good idea, so they went through with it. And who knows? Maybe there is a plan that has some semblance of sense to it that I just am not privy to, being a random fan as I am. But we'll see in the next movie, I suppose. Now, I'm going to specify some specific things that really irritated me about this. For example, I already mentioned, of course, the Resistance's bombers, which confused me. This is true. They threw ketchup on it and then tried to light the match. I don't know if ketchup's flammable, actually. If someone could find out, is ketchup flammable? Because if it is, then they might have had a better time of it. Perhaps they just maybe they just lit the ketchup guards on fire. Who knows? Tank burnt down. What do you mean tank burnt down? Tank exploded. Tank got splatted. Yeah, I got splatted big time. Holy shit. I didn't burn down. I was exploded by that thing. Tank burned down my ass. Oy. But so that was what it felt like to me. It felt like they were, cutting everything down. You know, they were getting rid of everything. They wanted to, you know, the first movie created such a big stink that they decided to, you know, undo it essentially. And I got that feeling in the very beginning of the movie when they started making fun of the first movie. They were making fun of Rey. They were making fun of Kylo Ren. They were, you know, making all these references to the first movie and just the things that were wrong with it. And so that's what and amidst all that, they were still doing all the other nonsense they were up to, where they were, you know, making fun of things, but also, you know, trying to, you know, proceed forwards. And it felt really awkward and forced. And the movie dragged on forever, and there was no need for half of it. Like, half the movie could have been done away with if Commander Holt or Admiral Holdo had just told Poe and the other Resistance members what the fuck she was doing. There would have been no mutiny on the ship. Leia wouldn't have had to, you know, step in and wake up and, you know, fix Poe. So much of it felt unnecessary and just silly. And I genuinely feel just like, you know, it felt so awkward and so forced most of the time. It wasn't enjoyable to see all this nonsense happening. And I really, really do wonder. Oh boy, we're sliding on the snow. Sliding on the snow. Oh, okay, right in the butt. All right, capturing. Hurrah, capturing. Because we need to capture at this point. Holy shit, do we need to capture at this point? Whee! It was silly. Now, the couple things that irritated me, in addition to everything else I've named so far, we see A-Wings in this. And these aren't A-Wings like we see in Episode 6. No, these are A-Wings like we see in Rebels, with the big turrets and the, you know, weird engines. And these things are even more archaic, because for some reason these things have jet fire when they ignite their engines. Oh, shit, missed. Heaven knows why. You know, heaven knows why these things have jet fire, but they do. You know, whenever these A-Wings light up. Oops, shit. Put the fire out. Put the fire out. I'm dead anyways, but fuck it. Keep putting the fire out. Keep putting the fire out. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Stop putting holes in my tank. Okay, I think there's someone behind me. Yep. Yep, there is, and now I'm on fire again without a fire extinguisher. Ouch! Oh. Oh, hello, dive bomber. Didn't know you were doing that. Well done. But, you know, so the A-Wings bothered me. But another thing that bugged me, which I kind of alluded to earlier, was the entire damn time. And this is something they do in Rebels. Yeah, they do it in Rebels, they do it in Battlefield 2, or Battlefront 2. Like, the new theme of Star Wars is apparently hope. Just, Rebels is constantly talking about hope. You know, in Battlefront 2, which I have now, I'm going to be doing gameplays of that, so look forward to the single-player campaign of that. You know, they're talking about, you know, the Rebel Alliance thrives on hope, and this thrives on hope, and the Resistance thrives on hope, and we're gonna spark the fire that'll ignite the fire of hope across the galaxy. It's like, you're not the fucking Hunger Games. You're not, you know, some random teenage romance. You don't have to have some catchy phrase where you're praising hope and shit like that. Jesus Christ, you are adults fighting a war. Stop saying this sappy shit. And, you know, some people gave me some shit for that. I've been discussing this on Facebook and other social media sites with people, and, you know, people give me shit. They're like, well, the originals were shit, and honestly, the prequels weren't that good. And I agree. You know, the originals were tacky. You know, especially the first one. You know, A New Hope was very tacky. Episode 4, and others, of course, have been. Oh my God, really? I get into the fight and immediately get knocked out. Oh Jesus. You bunch of incompetents. Oi. But yeah, they kept saying hope and ignite the fire that will, burn the galaxy, etc. There's all these honestly really dopey, you know, uh, just it was so silly to me. This it felt childish. It genuinely felt childish. This insistence on like we'll ignite this spark of hope across the rebellion and da 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 whatever it was. It felt so dopey and just contrived. It just I really wish they hadn't done that. It was so unnecessary and so honestly silly. It made it comical in all the wrong ways in that regard. That was like, if they were trying to be funny with that, that was definitely not funny. It was just silly and forced. And again, it felt like some young adult romance shit you'd hear from. Oh shit! There's a bomb on top of my tank. Run away! Ow! Yeah, that wasn't gonna end well. It was either stay up there and get blown up or go down here and get shot. So okay, we got shot. Right through the kisser. But it just hope and yeah, as he says, as Raphael's saying, hope and love wins. Oh God. Ugh. But the other another thing that happened, by the way, and this is there's one moment where Holdo, when she's going off on her single suicide run, and keep in mind, this long diatribe I've gone on isn't even half the movie really. I know for like as I'm talking to you guys about this, I know I'm leaving stuff out. There is stuff I am leaving out, and I'm sorry for leaving it out, but I can't remember everything while I'm ranting. Um, so I'm sure someone's going to see this and like try to point out like you missed this, you missed this, you missed this. Fuck off. I know I missed stuff. I'm aware I missed stuff. Don't care that I missed stuff. It doesn't change any of my points. Anyways, but Holdo at one point says, God be with you, resistance or rebels, whatever she calls them. And some people are making a stink about it, like, oh God is in rebels. And I have to say something. I don't care about that at all. Because even in the old canon, even in the old, hello, some Japanese fellow is licking pussy. Welcome, I guess, I think. What do you want? Yeah. Well, there he is. Huh. Go away. Poof! Be gone! Yeah, like she says Godspeed or something. And, yeah, just being a bit of a tool, really. Uh, it's who cares? I mean, there were actually references in the old, there were scenes in the old canon where they dealt with that. Where it was like, oh yeah, there are gods. There are other religions aside from the Jedi and the Sith, etc. There are other religions out there that have other viewpoints. They're not as prominent, and honestly, they're rather frowned upon, but they do exist. So I kind of like the fact that she says "Godspeed, rebels" or whatever it is. Um, it was a nice little expansion there. Cool. What I didn't like was the fact that she's the one who sacrifices herself. She goes off in a big blaze of glory. Here's this new character who's honestly kind of interesting. She's a bit of a bitch, but she's interesting. She's this strong, forceful, rather ingenious woman, and she, she gets killed right off the bat. And it seems to be a recurring problem with this movie specifically. They kill characters left and right. It's like, the hell? You're killing off all these characters who could be interesting. These characters could help hold your franchise up. What are you doing? Do you even know you have characters? Are you aware that you have characters? Shouldn't you be right? What the fuck? It's just so silly how badly they handle their own characters. It's terrible. And I'm gonna wrap this up here in a little bit, and not entirely wrap it up, but just wrap this part of it up. Um, there's a part where yeah, at the very end of the movie, when the Resistance is all unified, all what's left of them, all like, 20 or 30 of them, which I don't know how they expect to ignite the fire of rebellion when there's like only like, 2 or 3 dozen of them left. It's like you've got less than 100 people on one outdated freighter, a freighter that's almost a century old. How the hell are you going to have a resistance cell fighting, the First Order? Holy shit. But we'll see in the next one, I'm sure. They'll explain magically that someone pulled something out of their ass. But beyond that, they did the biggest fuck you to anyone who wanted to see Poe and Finn get developed. Amusingly enough, Disney actually came out and said before this movie aired, we are going to, clarify the relationship between Poe and Finn. And a lot of people I know, in the homosexual community, were excited. They're like, oh, they're actually going to do it. They're actually going to do it. And I was sitting here like, I hope they do it. I genuinely hope they do it. But I don't think they're going to do it. Disney doesn't have the balls to do something like that. Disney does not have the cojones to pull something off like that. They're not going to have an openly gay pair of characters in one of their biggest franchises. Oh, hell no. Hell no, they're not. This is Disney. They're terrified of homosexuality. Jesus, you have a bunch of girls kissing on screen or guys sucking each other's cocks, and they'll freak out. Oh boy. Which obviously, that's a little too raunchy perhaps, but oh boy. Yeah. They go so far in the opposite direction, they might as well be spitting at everyone's eye who wanted to see Poe and Finn become a thing, including me. I like Poe and Finn. I ship that. Of all the different ships that came out of this, I actually think Poe and Finn make the most sense. But what ends up happening, instead of Poe and Finn becoming a thing, instead of that, they go the complete opposite direction. Rey shows up, and I think this is, I could be wrong, but I think this is the, holy shit, that was a Lee. Hi, Lee. Piss off, Lee. Right in the ass. Oh, fuck. I'm dead, unfortunately. I was trying to ambush the Lee, and I got ambushed by everyone over there. Holy crap, the whole enemy team's here. Ah! Everybody! Let's all party. But, yeah, so Rey and Poe meet for the first time. And Poe is like, it's kind of disgusting. Poe is drooling over Rey. He's like, she's smiling at him, kind of like, oh, hi, I'm Rey. And he's like, I know. And they're looking at each other, making eye contact, and think, oh. It's the dopiest thing ever. It's like, what? Two adults act like this, for Christ's sakes. I mean, I get it. Rey is, I don't know how old Rey is supposed to be. Rey is kind of young, so maybe she's kind of schoolgirly about, being, liking a guy. Maybe she is. But Poe is a grown-ass man. What the fuck is he doing? Anyways, that's not the... to make matters worse, over in the corner, while this is going on, Rey sees Finn standing over Rose as she's unconscious, lying there, injured and, bleeding, and looks kind of sad. Like, oh no, my token black guy is over there, fawning over this other girl. Oh my god. They went so far away from Finn and Poe, it wasn't even funny. Like they did everything. Kylo Ren, Finn, and Poe all apparently want to fuck, Rey now. They all want Rey's butt. And now Finn may want Rose, but Rose definitely wants Finn. Rey may like Poe, but also likes Kylo perhaps, and definitely is looking at Finn kind of funny. It's just like the whole thing is just again, it feels like some sort of random teenage romance nonsense. It's like, this isn't Twilight. Stop. They don't have to have a love quadrangle going on. Stop trying to teach us basic geometry with freaking with Star Wars characters. Jesus Christ. Ugh. But who knows? Maybe I'm reading too much into all this. Maybe I'm being unfair. That is possible. I fully admit I might be overreacting, but just that's my perception from what I saw of it. It's like that's what it felt like to me. Oh my god, get damaged, you bugger. Time to repair, I guess. Ah, it just again the whole mess was so silly. It's like Disney, you're not even trying at this point. Holy crap! Whoever's in charge of this, oops, sorry, keep doing that. Don't push that button, Slay. That doesn't do anything. I liked Looper. Like I actually enjoyed Looper. Looper was fun. I did not enjoy this mess. But that's the end of my bitch fest. I am done bitching about the last, or not the last. Yes, it is the Last Jedi. I'm done bitching about the Last Jedi. Again, it could have been worse, but it could have been a lot better. Like there was so much opportunity for them to do better. Opportunity they didn't go through. And it was unpleasant. It was unfortunate. It just did not go well, honestly. Oy. But now that I'm done ranting and rambling, I am going to take a moment to say hello, everybody. Thank you for watching. We're going to continue a little bit here until everyone gets too bored, I suppose. Anybody have specific questions about this nonsense? Yes, that's the thing. Looper actually had a coherent story and an interesting concept. You can't say the same for the Star Wars movie. And that's the problem I have with it. Is even like the prequels, as much as everyone likes to shit on the prequels had a consistent storyline. The prequels, had a direction they were going in. Sure, the writing was trashy. The script wasn't that good. You can bitch about the lack of chemistry between the characters all you like, whatever, but at least you knew what the fuck was going on, and there was a consistent, persistent story. You knew where it was going, and etc. And yes, Looper was based on a book. Hooray. As often as such things are. But yes, as I was going to say, does anyone have anyone who's seen the movie or hasn't seen the movie, wants an opinion about something, does anyone have any specific questions for me in this case? Do you want to ask me anything specifically about how I feel about something in particular, or etc., so on and so forth, ad nauseum, ad infinitum? In other words, if you'd like to ask anything, go for it! Please do. Let's keep this going if we can. No, don't. If it's the end, that's the end. I'm waiting to see what happens. I don't know if anyone's actually going to have anything to say. Oh dear. Hello. Hello. You are a tank. Or no, you're not. You're not a tank. You're a you're an A gun. What are you doing over here? Actually, speaking of, what am I doing over here? I probably shouldn't be over here. This is right next to the enemy spawn point. Slade, you asshole. What are you doing by the enemy spawn point? Oh, hi, Dr. Carr. I didn't know you were here. Porgs, yes. Porgs are in this. Porgs are either adorable or horrible, depending on your opinion. Ow! What the hell hit me? Oh, BT5. I think he hit my ammunition. Yeah, the Porgs are in this. They're just kind of annoying, honestly. And I'll get to you in a moment, Master Chief. I'm not. As I said, I am actually aware of everything. But I didn't name everything because I didn't want to make this too long, even though it was a long, rambling bit of nonsense. If we're completely honest, sorry. But Porgs, they're cute, they're cuddly, they're horrible, and if you ask me, they're just ewy. I mean, there's a scene where Chewbacca is eating them, and it's hilarious because the Porgs are all like looking at him like, "What are you doing?" And he's nomming on them and just being silly. And I thought that was kind of awesome because I'm a horrible human being. Yeah, haha. Slade's horrible. Imagine that. But we'll see. We'll see what they do with honestly, I felt like the Porgs were in the movie too damn much. Like there was no need for them to be there as much as they were. It felt so awkward for them to be there as much as they were. But they were rather omnipresent. It was kind of annoying and just Silly. Yes, if someone wants to, if you want to have someone call someone a porg, by all means. I already wrote a scene in my own material where I had, freaking porgs being eaten by one of my creations, the Marmar. Yee, go get him. Uh, but the other thing was the uh, okay. So what was the other question? Let's see. We answered the porg question. There it is. Uh, yeah. What about the Anakin kid at the end of the movie? Honestly, I don't know. I don't know what that's going to be about. I think I think that might just be set up for a possible plot point they might do at some point. I don't know for sure because who the hell knows what they're up to at this point. Um, I genuinely don't know what they're going to be doing with that, but I think that kid is just there to, look, Star Wars is still here. We're still expanding this universe. There's a child here who's apparently force sensitive, and he's living in the shadow of his whatever the hell, and just the usual goofball stuff they do to try and keep people interested. Who knows what they're going to do with that kid? Uh, God knows. Pyrus, what do you say when it showed them? Well, and it isn't the only thing that's forgotten. In the no, it's not a joke, Jessica. There literally is a new little blonde kid. I think he's blonde who's force sensitive. It's like, oh look, there's Anakin 2.0, hooray! And who's gonna train him? I guess Rey. Rey is gonna train him because Rey will somehow know how to do everything. I don't fucking know. Um, but yeah, now Pyrus, I agree with you. There are several cases where they could have ended the movie sooner. The movie dragged on for way too long. It was so dragged out and protracted, and the porgs got just they use the porgs too much. It's like, I get it, porgs cute, yay, they're dopey. Let's eat, barbecue them, whatever. But like, stop showing them so fucking much. Oh, for fuck's sake. Oy. And yes, yeah, Jakar. There's literally like a little force sensitive kid hiding on the casino world. Working in the stables with those big beasties, and who knows what he's going to be doing. Yeah, honestly, Pyrus, that's possible. It's quite possible that's the kid's just kind of a throwaway. It's like, here, kids, look, here's you. This could be you. Hooray! Yeah, exactly. It's if you ask me, it's kind of typical, Disney BS. But hey, whatever. I mean, it was just a lot of the stuff I skipped over was just fluff. So who knows what that'll mean in the long run? Yeah, it was just the movie as a whole. The potential for the movie was there so much. Um, it just it just wasn't accomplished. I don't know what they thought they were trying to accomplish or what they were trying to accomplish even, but I don't think they accomplished it. I think it was rather silly. And those the caretaker aliens that were on the island with Luke, I thought that was kind of hysterical. Honestly, pardon me, I got a good laugh out of that. They honestly were a treat. They were entertaining. I admit I was chuckling. They made me just smile and be like, oh god. And yes, there are a billion and one concept designs with the aliens. Like, and that's one of the things I mentioned in this video earlier was the fact that, like, for fuck's sake, you have an entire encyclopedia of different alien species to use. Use some of them. Show us Twi'lek, show us Zabrak, show us, hell, throw a Dothamori in there for Christ's sakes. Throw us anything, Deveronian, Athorian, Falleen, Bothan, anything. Please throw in some more aliens that we actually recognize instead of all these different things that look like they belong in Farscape. Ugh. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. It just, again, I don't mind them introducing new species of aliens. Okay, cool. We get our new race to play with. Yay. But for fuck's sake, they don't even have a single Twi'lek, Togruta, or anything else. It's like, you don't have to do all new species. by all means, show us some old ones. Have a Twi'lek serving a drink. Have anything. Do something with your species that already exist, for fuck's sake. Oi! And again, the old trilogy did that too. The old trilogy, oftentimes, you could easily critique the old trilogy for just introducing 1,000,000,001 different alien species and not using them in subsequent movies, because they didn't. I don't think there's a single alien species that appeared in one movie and then appeared in the next in the old trilogy. I could be wrong. The Lady Made of Bag. I actually don't know who that is. There's a lady made of bag? I have no clue. I genuinely am confused now. I think I missed the Lady Made of Bag. Who is the Lady Made of Bag? Oh, ammo rack. Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. Oh, I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about. At the casino. Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking. Ouch! Oh, that hurt. Hello, Drakara. Welcome back. I have to look at that later. Actually, unless you're sending me something now, I suppose maybe I should look at that now. Whoops. Maybe that's important to what you're saying to me. The lady made a bag. Okay, yeah, yeah, I know. Okay, I know exactly what you're referencing. Huh. Yeah, no, can't. Oops, hold on, shit, stop it, Slade. Why are you fully loaded? You're not supposed to be fully loaded. Shit, bad idea to go into battle fully loaded. All your ammo racks will explode. Oy. All right, go. Here we go. I do agree, Raphael. Like after the Fifth Element, it is impossible to top that opera singer from the Fifth Element. It's like that she's amazing. She only lasts for a few scenes, like 2 or 3 scenes, but she's still awesome. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I really do feel that in this case, they were throwing everything into this movie and then throwing a match on it and lighting the ketchup on fire because the ketchup guards are awesome. Yeah, I hit him. Knocked his tracks off, actually. Yeah, it just, I don't know. It just the movie the movie had a lot of potential, and I fully admit there were parts of it that were good. There were scenes that were good. There were ideas that were good, but it just oh, it's so odd to see that movie and like see what they're trying to do and wonder what they're trying to do and just like what the fuck am I on? And that's part of my problem is like they had after Carrie Fisher died they actually announced they were doing reshoots and a lot of people thought that they were gonna write her out of out of the movie, um, but they didn't. She's still alive by the end of the movie. She is very much alive at the end of the movie for some reason. Okay, killed what? I don't know what killed him. Wasn't me. Yeah, and they have announced that, I guess. Yeah, I forgot they announced that. They explicitly said, we're not going to do any CGI Leias. So I don't know what I have to assume that the next oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Die. 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 Oh my god. Oh god. They're coming from everywhere. Holy Christ. What is going on? And, well, unknock him out. Unknock out our commander, please. Before we get killed. Rank does not matter. Rar, I am Jesus or something, I don't know. Well, I mean, one of the things I noticed in this movie specifically In the first movie, we're told about the Knights of Ren, how Kylo Ren is a Knight of Ren, and God knows what the hell that's supposed to mean. And we even see in Rey's visions, Rey has her visions of the Jedi Order being destroyed, etc., etc. And we see multiple Knights of Ren, apparently standing with Kylo, and yet in the second movie, there's only one Knight of Ren. That's Kylo still. So I honestly, it begs the question in my case, where it's like, what about the other Knights of Ren? Are there other Knights of Ren? What's going on? Oh shit! Hello, Stug. Oh, hell, Slade, what are you doing? You're being too aggressive again. Fuck it. Elon! Here we go. Kill them all! Not going around that corner. I'm not doing that. I am the mighty balancer, apparently. But I don't know, I really get the feeling that no one at Disney right now knows what they're doing with Star Wars. That's the feeling I get, and it's an unfortunate feeling. It just feels like they're just trying to make money and running amok with it, which is, again, it's depressing, it's sad, and it's just, it makes you really grieve for what used to be and what, won't be anymore. Yeah, I've seen him. I've seen him, Drakara. I've actually seen that guy. I know who you're talking about. I haven't been paying attention to it, but I am aware of it. Maybe I should go look into it and figure out more of it. But, what? Oh, yes. Sorry. It's really kind of unfortunate just how much, Disney doesn't seem interested in consistency with their storytelling. They don't seem interested in even really telling a story. It's more along the lines of just, hey, look, Star Wars, everyone come fap. It's like, I was hoping for an actual story and some characters I might like. It's like, nope, nope, not for you. Go away, shoo. You sure? Maybe I can just have one character I like? Nope, not at all. Why not? Please? And yeah, I'll take anything. Yeah, well, I mean, with Pyrus, with Luke specifically, um, uh, with Luke specifically, they took a character who, had all this hope and bright-eyed wonder at the world in all his other versions, and they turned him into this, bitter, angry old man, which, um, it just isn't as and again, and, I've seen the argument made by a few people now. A few people made the argument of with Luke that he's the tired hero. He has fought for so long and tried for so long and fought so hard that he's just worn out. That he's done. He is finished. And that's a valid argument to make, but just it doesn't really fit with Luke. And I think the biggest problem that Disney has stuck upon. Yes, Drakara, yeah, I know. They deleted the EU for consistency, and now they can't keep their own consistency. Like that's actually one of my biggest pet peeves about the new canon is the fact that supposedly they deleted the entire EU. They made it a Legends thing because it was inconsistent and because it was impossible to make it consistent. And now they're doing their new material, and they can't be consistent. Ugh. It's aggravating as hell to see that. But with Luke specifically, I think a big problem with that is that they're taking characters who have been established. Luke has been around since the 70s. He was in the 3 original movies. He has been evolving through the books, the comics, and the games for God knows how long. It's been at least 40 years that Luke has been evolving through the various EU media, expanded universe media, the various books, movies, books, comics, and what have you. And, so he has an established personality. He has this established character that everyone who knows the EU knows and love. I mean, Luke's wife in the EU is murdered, and Luke grieves, yes, but he proceeds to kill the woman he thinks, killed his wife. And then when he realizes later that no, that woman didn't kill his wife, it was in fact another person that killed his wife, his nephew to be specific, he helps kill his nephew. It's like Luke is not someone who hides in a corner and cries when everything falls to shit. Luke fights, and, they made him hide in a corner and cry. It just, oi. It's aggravating, to say the least. It's maddening. Oh yeah, no, yeah, it's true. And Luke, in the old canon was like the biggest story of Jesus Christ, man, can't this person get a break? Because he had so many girlfriends, and they would either die or leave him. Like he ended up with so many just lost loves. It was just like, Jesus, Luke, you poor fellow. When he finally got married, when he and Mara Jade became a thing and got married, oh my God, you could hear the cheers. Like everyone who'd been following Luke's romantic life up to that point was suddenly just like, oh, thank Christ, finally. And the other thing was, yeah, as Raphael says, yeah, you really do get the feeling with the ouch. Oh, come on, that was a bloody hell. That was a good shot. I derped him right in the side. Ooh. But you really get the feeling with this new canon that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're just making shit up. They're just trying. And it honestly is rather unfortunate. It's tragic. I need to carry more of you. Oh, well, whatever. But yeah, no, it is true. They did ruin one of the best power couples. Han and Leia were an amazing couple, and it's just they destroyed it. Like, and that was actually a complaint I saw voiced by a YouTuber I follow, who he pointed out that like with Luke and Han both, they completely undid Luke and Han's entire character arc. They disregarded it entirely, and for some reason, just undid everything the characters had been through and reverted them. Han went from being a selfish, smuggler to being a, altruistic, hero kind of guy, and then suddenly he was a selfish smuggler again. It was, ouch, motherfucker, shouldn't be here, Slades, what are you doing? Ah! I don't know what I'm doing, actually. I can't even see anything. There we go. Oh. Finally have a target I miss. Ouch. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. Ah. Oh, that was a Lee. No wonder it killed me. Eesh. Lees are nasty in this game. Like World of Tanks, Lees suck. In this game, oh Jesus. Just they completely undid all the old character arcs, and I really feel that they should have avoided the old characters entirely. Like they shouldn't have used the old characters at all. They should have just done their own thing. And it's so wrong to me that I killed something. Oh, hooray! I killed something. They really should have just done their own thing. Either they either should have done a Star Wars story that took place outside of the original canon, the movies, or they should have rebooted the entire series. Redone the original movies. Introduce new actors. That way that, they can do all these spin-off movies with the new cast. But, some idiot at Disney doesn't know how to think straight. And to be fair, people have pointed out to me that it isn't Disney, it's LucasArts, but, Disney is the one who's controlling all this, for God's sakes. If you don't think they are for a moment, then, okay, I'm sorry. But, oh, Jesus. What have I walked into now? Ah, there we go. Hello, Lee. Fuck. Where's the next target? That's another Lee, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Aim for the sponson. There we go, sponson. Ah, stuck on a wall, stuck on a wall. Off we get. Ah. Yeah, I think I'm rambling in circles at this point, so if someone else has a point they'd like to bring up, by all means. Silly Tetrarchs. Oh, speaking of silly, Slade, get on the stupid cap. Okay, I think I just blasted most of the enemy team. Oh shit, hello. Where'd you come from? Okay. I think we've Oh my god. Hello. Gun depression. Why you fail? There we go. Hit him. Yeah, I mean, honestly, Master Chief, so am I. My family doesn't really care. My family's just like, yay, Star Wars, and I'm sitting here like, no, no, not yay, Star Wars. It's ruined. Um, I honestly, yeah, she means Episode 7, Episode 8, and Rogue One. I don't know. I wouldn't say this game is better than World of Tanks. I'm enjoying it a lot at the moment. World of Tanks is more my style, to be honest. I like the more kind of arcade style of World of Tanks. Yes, T50s are a bit of a nightmare at this tier. I can. Oh Jesus! Hello. Who are you? Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Ow! 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 Speaking of being defeated, I was not paying attention. I am. Atch! Help! Help! Run away! Be French! Be French! But yeah, Rogue One. Of all the new movies, Rogue One is the one I have very little issue with. I do have some. Oh Jesus! Hello. Fuck. Um, Rogue One is the one that I have the least issue with. Um, in all honesty. Oh, hold on. Let's get my crew replaced while I'm here. Like in all genuine honesty, Rogue One I have the least issue with. There are some problems with it, but nothing that makes me want to go ugh. And I think that's what they should have done. Oh, hello, hello. Oh shit, oh shit. He didn't notice me. What the bloody hell? Okay, never mind. Right in the face. Here they come. Really? You people are just gonna let me get away with this nonsense? Okay, yeah. I think they finally killed me. Yep. 16 ground targets destroyed. Oh. Oh yeah, no, no. I actually really agree, Drakara. The world building in Rogue One surpassed anything that was done. Hey, there's that T50 he was talking about. Anything that was done in The Force Awakens or The Last Jedi. Rogue One knocked it out of the park. Hayden, I don't know what that PZ2 was doing. He went right past me, and I decided to butt sex one of my teammates and didn't accomplish anything for it. Who knows? Um, well, the world may never know. Hmm. Yeah, you aren't wrong. The T50, the bane of everyone's existence at this tier. Holy shit. I'm going to actually take a brief break here. I'm literally just to step up, walk over to the refrigerator, get something to drink, because holy shit, my throat. Oh, Drakara, you know as well as I do, there's always a joke hanging somewhere. It's usually a low-hanging fruit right there, as a matter of fact. Use your binoculars, it's free. Piss off, I don't need those stinking binoculars. I'm not playing realistic mode. Or simulator mode, whatever the devil it's called. Ugh. It was kind of funny, actually. When I played this yesterday, I was playing this game a little bit yesterday, and some prat, like on one of the other bridges, a bunch of people all ran into each other, and like three people on my team ended up in the river within like 2 seconds of the first one landing in the river. It was absolutely horrible. It's like, no, what the oi. But I think this is gonna wind down here, honestly, because it seems like the chat is drying up. Go away. Out of my way, wall. I shoot you. Yeah, sure, Hayden. I play warships. I enjoy it. I actually have a clan on there that Master Chief is part of. So, yeah, I'm always into warships. Warships is fun. Tanks is fun. Warplanes is actually fun again, which is nice. Holy shit. Whew. I'm so glad they fixed warplanes. I always wanted to like that game, and I never could. Now they actually made it fun again. It's kind of like Donald Trump, you know? Make warplanes great again. Yeah, you can actually find me, Hayden. Give me a moment while I'm prattling on. That's my wargaming handle. So you can find me via that and add me to your friends list. Oh, shit, they see me. Ouch, 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 ouch. And that was a terrible exchange. Ouch, I suck. You know, warplanes, they had a, ooh, that was a good shot. Raphael, that was a non sequitur. And actually, I do agree. I like his ex. I can't remember her name at the moment. Rosalina? No, not Rosalina. I don't remember her name. Shit. But I like her a lot more than I like Beach. I don't know if I'll get into tanks or warships later today. I haven't slept yet. I've been up now for quite a bit. Yeah, I've been up for a long while. Um, I woke up yesterday at 1500. Yeah, Pauline, that's her name. Yes, I woke up yesterday at like 1500, 1530, and I've been up ever since. Heaven knows what I'm doing. Oh. Yeah, no, Hayden, if you happen to catch me, uh, Evergreen Air Museum. Where do you live? I'm rather curious. I love museums and I love air museums. So I'm always curious to learn about new places. Where the devil's that? Sleep? What's that? I don't know what sleep is. Sleep. My oh hi. Oh my God. Everyone's trying to make me go to bed. Here I am having a good time in my tanks and chatting with random people, and people want me to go to sleep. Ah, where's the fun in that? Ugh. I'll tell you what, if one more person tells me to go to sleep, I'll go to sleep. But until I get a third person arguing for me to go to sleep, this shit's still going on. Ha ha! Tally-ho, lads. Into the cap. See what that accomplishes, if anything. Pew, pew, pew! Oh. There's our third person. Damn it. That happened way too fast. You're no fun. Ow! I was just, yeah, Takara, yes, I realized the irony. I was wondering, Hayden, because I'm up in Seattle, so Evergreen is usually either not Portland, it's either Oregon, or it's yes, or Washington. So I was kind of curious to see which direction you were in. Oh, Drakara, be quiet. I am well aware of why you're still awake. You're looking for your alternate nookie. He's busy. Leave him alone. I don't know why I'm shooting at the big airplane, but splat. Okay. Oh boy. Okay, I've got 4 of you people doing this now. All right, fine. I will. Let me finish this tank battle, which will be over momentarily, given how poorly I'm playing at the moment. Yeah, I'll leave. I hope everyone enjoyed my rant. Oh shit, there's a tank destroyer over here somewhere. Self-propelled gun, maybe? Yeah, there it is. I see it. It's just over there. Fricking Stug! Ow. I will sleep, madam, I promise. Yeah, that's me. Slingbait 87th, that is me. Ow. You buggery buggers! That's... Ow. Yep, there he is. I was trying to get him, but he got me. Ugh. Okay, yes. So I will go to sleep now. Thank you, everyone, for being concerned about my well-being, I suppose, and I hope you enjoyed my Star Wars ranting and raving and my sad attempts at playing War Thunder. Oh. Hey, it's only 10:30 here. Give me some slack. It's not that late. I usually go to bed around now anyways. Take care, Hayden. I will catch you in Wargaming at some point, it sounds like. I look forward to playing with you. Thank you, everyone, for turning up, and hurrah, huzzay, and happy day.